Hello and welcome to the 7th tutorial of this series. Today's lesson will be based on hiding objects, freezing them, and placing them within different layers. Now this will help us a lot when it comes to working on large-scale projects. Let's go ahead and create a box. So I'll just make that. And then take the teapot. Just click and drag there. The sphere. The cylinder. Maximize this viewport. Now that we've got our object, let's get on with freezing and hiding some of them. Now go to your tools menu at the top and then select display floater. As soon as you click that, we get this window here. Now we're going to start off by hiding some of our objects. So get your select and move tool and click on the teapot and then click under hide, hit on selected. As soon as you click that, you notice we've hidden our object. Now this means we can't see it here, and when you render this image, we won't be able to see the teapot anymore. So for example, I'll just quickly render that to show you what happens. We can't see our teapot, so I'll close the render window. And then I can hide more objects by just selecting them and then clicking hide, or I can almost hide everything else that's unselected by clicking unselected, and that will hide our sphere, like so. If you want to see all your objects again, all you need to do is go down to the unhide section and click all, and that displays everything again. So remember, you just click on an object and then hide it. So to do a multiple selection, you just click on one, hold down Control, and then click on another, and then go to the hide section, hit that, and you hide your objects. This is helpful when you're working on a large scale project and you want to control certain aspects of it so that you can focus on maybe smaller sections or work on them one object at a time. Let's return everything on screen and just hit hide. Now we're going to freeze some of them. Now as soon as I select any of my objects and I hit the selected button, now you notice this time the object hasn't disappeared, still on our scene, and it's just grayed out. Now what this means is you can't select it anymore, you can't edit it. So when you're working again on a large scale project with a lot of objects, you can select things behind it without affecting the objects in front of you. Now what this also does is when you render your project, you notice the frozen objects still appear within your final image. So the advantage of this is pretty much that. So I'm just going to select that as well, freeze it. Again, I can multiple select by holding Control. Then I can freeze that as well. To unfreeze them, I can either unfreeze all of them, or let me freeze that again. Go ahead and hit this button here by hit, and that means I can unfreeze one at a time. So again, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you on hiding and freezing objects. So that was just a very basic overview of them, and I will be exploring them in more details in future tutorials. Let's go ahead and close the display floater, and now we're going to look at layers. Now what layers allows you to do, it helps you gain more control in creating your objects and working on big projects. Now what happens is when you open 3D Studio Max, this bar should be around here or somewhere around there, but in this case I like placing it down here so I can get access to it easily. But if you don't happen to have this bar, then I'm going to show you how to get that. So I'm just going to close mine. all you need to do is go to Customize, Show UI, and then hit the Show Floating Toolbars. As soon as you hit that, a lot of different toolbars will come up. So all you need to do is close every single one of them except for the Layers toolbar, which should look something like this. Let's close the rest. Once you're done, click and drag it wherever you see fit. You can either drop it down there, or you can drop it somewhere where it's easily accessible. Now, as soon as you go to your layers bar, you notice we've got the default layer selected and nothing else. Now I'll go to my Manage Layers tab to show you what happens. We've got this tick here, meaning everything we create in this moment in time will be automatically listed under the default layer. And then we can also hide the layer. We can freeze the whole layer. And then it shows when we render this whether it's going to appear or not. So you can decide that there. I'll leave it there for now. So to create a new layer, all you do is head to this button here, click on that, and then name your layer. So in this case, I'll call it new one. Sorry. Press OK. And you notice the new one, which is our new layer, so automatically replace the default from top position. Now, when you hit this Manage Layers button, you notice the tick has moved from our default layer to the new layer, meaning everything we create from this moment in time will appear in our new layer. So let me just show you that. Click on a box, then as soon as I create that box, you find that box has been listed within this new layer. Now, I'll delete that for now. And now I'm going to show you what happens when you want to move objects you've already created or objects located within one layer. You want to move them into a new layer. Now all you need to do, you can do it from this window, which is our Manage Layers window. You just select a particular object, hit Cut. Notice that doesn't actually remove the object from your scene. Now, when you right click on that new layer, you hit Paste, and there's a little plus. Now, whatever we've just removed from that layer, we've moved it into this. So I'll do that one more time. You just right click, cut, right click here, and paste it in there. Now, what I can do with regards to freezing some of our objects or even hiding them, we can do it easily, and we can easily affect different groups of objects by just putting them all into one layer. And then now as I do this, you notice it's only affecting one object at a time. This is because I'm actually doing it on the actual objects. As soon as I close that, I do it on the layer, it affects every object within that layer. So that sort of helps you and saves you a lot of time and hassle in the long run whilst working on your project. So I'm going to close that too. Now, another way to move your objects into other layers without needing to go all the way into that, you just select that object. As soon as you select that object, you click Add Selection to Current Layer. So if that object was in a different layer, you don't even need to double check that. You just select that object, select whichever layer you want, and then hit there. And now that box has been added into the new one layer. So if I go up here, you notice the box 01 has been moved into this new layer. And remember, you can control the whole layer by coming up here, hiding, freezing, and even deciding whether you want the actual layer to appear when you render your final objects. So I'm now going to show you how to delete a layer. go back to the manage layer window. Now we want to delete the new one layer we created. Now you can't delete this layer yet for two reasons. One, it's our current layer, and two, it has objects within it. So to delete a layer, it needs to be empty and it shouldn't be your current layer. And that's why, whilst we've got this layer selected, the delete button is not even active. So let's start off by moving all of our objects to the default layer. So remember, you just right click on that object, cut, go to the default layer, paste. So now that we've moved everything, you still notice that's not active. As soon as I activate the default layer, now when I select the new one layer, we've got our delete button active. So you just hit that and our layer is gone. So that's how you tidy up your project. So you can create new layers, delete them. So I'll close that. That's pretty much everything I wanted to show you with regards to layers today. But keep in mind, we'll be exploring it in more detail in future tutorials. So thank you very much for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next lesson. Bye for now.